What if I told you that some of the most powerful men in history, presidents, CEOs, spiritual leaders, secretly leaned on the wisdom of women over 70? It's not a coincidence. It's not nostalgia. It's neuroscience. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why a 73-year-old grandmother might just be the sharpest advisor a modern leader could ever have. In a world obsessed with youth and speed, the true treasure of human intelligence, especially in leadership, is often overlooked: the experienced, emotionally resilient mind of an older woman. We're diving deep into why the world's best decision-makers, both past and present, trust women over 70. The science is fascinating, and the implications? Even more profound. From cognitive flexibility to emotional mastery, women over 70 hold an edge that no AI, no young executive, and no trend can replicate. Let's uncover why. Here's what you need to know: the female brain doesn't just age, it evolves. According to recent studies from Harvard and Stanford, women over 70 often show increased integration between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Translation: they have a superior ability to balance logic with intuition. While men's brains may gradually lean toward task-specific efficiency, many women's brains become holistic, seeing connections others miss. That's what leaders crave: insight, not just information. And what about memory? Many women in this age bracket show stronger autobiographical memory retrieval, meaning they're drawing wisdom from decades of experience at lightning speed. They're not just thinking fast, they're thinking rich. Here is where things get even more interesting. Neuroscience confirms that emotional intelligence, EQ, which governs empathy, conflict resolution, and intuition, often peaks in later stages of life, especially in women. Think of emotional intelligence as the secret operating system of great leadership. It guides how we listen, how we make people feel, how we build trust, and how we stay calm under pressure. Older women have typically weathered storms, loss, love, raising families, career setbacks, and often, caregiving. All of these develop EQ in ways no business seminar ever could. So, when a leader sits with a 72-year-old woman and asks, "What would you do?" they're not just getting a guess. They're receiving a response layered with grace, emotional calibration, and years of social wisdom. World-class leaders aren't just reactive, they're proactive. And to do that, they need pattern recognition, the ability to see what others can't, before it's obvious. According to cognitive aging studies, older women often excel in big-picture pattern thinking, especially around relationships, human motivation, and systems. Why? Because they've seen it all. They've watched generations rise, fall, and repeat the same mistakes. They've spotted emotional dynamics long before they blow up. They know when someone's not telling the whole truth, without saying a word. In fact, studies show that the brain's default mode network, the area activated during reflective thinking, is more active and finely tuned in aging women. That means they're constantly running scenarios, connecting emotional dots, and predicting outcomes in a way that feels almost psychic. No wonder visionary leaders lean in when older women speak. Let's travel through time. Franklin D. Roosevelt, during the peak of World War II, regularly consulted Eleanor Roosevelt's mother-in-law, Sarah Delano Roosevelt. She wasn't just family, she was his quiet compass, always urging calm, dignity, and careful strategy. She was in her 70s when FDR relied on her the most. Nelson Mandela, after being released from prison, spent countless hours with elders in his community, many of them older women who had kept traditions alive during apartheid. Their insight helped him bridge cultural gaps and avoid civil war. Even in tech, Steve Jobs reportedly had great respect for older women in product and design testing, believing they had a no-nonsense instinct for what really works. This isn't folklore. This is reliable counsel that shaped nations. The University of California conducted a groundbreaking 12-year study on intergenerational advice and trust dynamics. One surprising conclusion: people over 65, especially women, are perceived as more trustworthy, less ego-driven, and more purpose-focused. Why does this matter? Because trust isn't just about liking someone. It's about being willing to act on their advice, even when it goes against your instincts. Leaders know this. CEOs know this. Presidents must know this. They don't seek echo chambers, they seek clarity. And clarity often sounds like a gentle, wise voice that's been shaped by 70+ years of living. Here's the truth the world is finally waking up to. Older women are not invisible. They are invaluable. They've survived trends, navigated loss, raised generations, and built communities in silence. They've loved deeply, suffered quietly, and triumphed without applause. They know the weight of unspoken words. They understand the power of timing. And they're experts in something younger generations often lack: discernment. Discernment isn't just knowing what to say. It's knowing when, why, and how to say it, or when not to speak at all. Leaders, whether they admit it or not, crave that level of wisdom. You might be wondering, how exactly do today's top leaders use this age-old wisdom? Here's what they're doing. Quiet listening circles. Many Fortune 500 CEOs have started incorporating private elder advisory circles, often with older women present, to help them unpack sensitive leadership decisions without bias. Mentorship over metrics. Instead of solely relying on data-driven analysts, visionary leaders are inviting women over 70 into mentorship roles, not to teach trends, but to teach truth. The kind that keeps companies ethical, grounded, and human. Emotional mapping. Older women have the rare ability to read the room before entering it. Their guidance in political, relational, or business negotiation can literally change outcomes. And leaders know this. In short, it's not about IQ. It's about depth, and women over 70 bring an ocean of it. One of the most underappreciated advantages of older women is their neurological response to chaos. Let's break it down. The amygdala, the brain's fear center, tends to calm down with age, especially in women. That means, unlike younger people who may react emotionally, older women tend to remain measured and thoughtful in stressful moments. They've seen too much to panic. Neuroscientists call this age-related emotional regulation, and it gives older women a unique calm under fire. In boardrooms, war rooms, or even family conflicts, this superpower becomes a stabilizing force for leadership. And that's why great leaders listen. Because sometimes, the calmest voice in the room is also the most correct. Let's make it real. Lillian, 74, was once a school teacher. In retirement, she began volunteering at a nonprofit where the young director faced a staffing crisis. Lillian quietly stepped in and said, "Before you fire anyone, sit with them and ask what they're carrying." That advice changed everything. The director discovered burnout, not bad behavior, and saved her team. Angela, 78, is a retired nurse who noticed that a small-town clinic was losing patients. She spoke with the doctor and said, "People don't feel safe, not because of medicine, but because they feel judged." That insight prompted a total rebrand around compassion, and business soared. No business degree. No six-figure consulting fee. Just wisdom that worked. We live in an age of noise. Opinions fly faster than facts. Everyone's talking, but fewer people are listening, especially to those who've lived through more than one lifetime of change. And that's why women over 70 are essential now more than ever. They represent something rare: clarity in confusion, perspective in pressure, grace in a graceless time. So the next time a leader pulls back the curtain and reveals who they really rely on, don't be surprised if it's not a high-powered consultant or a best-selling guru, but a wise, silver-haired woman who's lived, learned, and quietly conquered, without ever needing the spotlight. If you're a leader, a thinker, or someone navigating life's big choices, maybe it's time to stop scrolling, and start asking the women over 70 in your life the questions you've been too proud to ask. Because they're not just holding stories, they're holding answers.